Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to 1 Less Than 3 Math. The learning objective of this video is to be able to solve problems involving algebraic fractions. So, this is always an area that people find difficult, and it's good to know the different kinds of problems that you may be facing when tackling algebraic fractions. So we're going to look at 3 different examples to begin with. Then there's an extension question where we're going to rearrange an equation to find x to make x the subject. Okay, so example 1. We've got to solve x divided by 3 equals 14. So whenever you're solving equations, you're always thinking about what is happening to the letter, what is happening to the x in this case. It is being divided by 3. So we always need to do the inverse operation. Inverse is just a fancy word for the opposite operation. So we're going to do the inverse operation of divide by 3, which is to multiply both sides by 3. Because it's an equation with an equal sign in it, to keep it balanced, we must do the same thing to both sides. So therefore, we're going to times both sides by 3. 14 multiplied by 3 is 42. Now if I'm doing that mentally, I would do 10 times 3, which is 30, and 4 times 3, which is 12. 30 and 12 would go together to make 42. So example 1 has been done. We're going to move on to example 2 now, where we have a slightly harder question, where we've got a plus 9 divided by 14 equals 1. Now, the numerator is a plus 9, and that's been divided by 14. So because the whole thing, the whole numerator, is being divided by 14, the first thing that we need to do is to do the inverse operation of divide by 14, which is to multiply by 14 on both sides to keep it equal. So we now have a plus 9 equals 1 times 14, which is 14. So now to get the a on its own, we need to do the inverse operation of plus 9. So the inverse operation of addition is subtraction, and we therefore subtract 9 from both sides. So we get the value of a, which is 5. You can actually substitute that back into the equation to check that it works. 5 plus 9 would be 14. 14 divided by 14 would equal 1, so you know you are correct. So, example 3. Now here we have x over 11 minus 3 equals 4. Now, it's only the x as a numerator which is divided by 11. So we're not going to immediately multiply by 11 here, because there's a minus 3 that we can easily shift to the other side by adding 3 to both sides. So we're going to get rid of that minus 3 by doing the inverse operation of minus 3, which is plus 3. So we add 3 to both sides, and therefore the next line of working out, and obviously the working out is very, 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 very important. So we've got x over 11 equals 4 plus 3, which is 7. So then we need to get rid of the divide by 11. Inverse of divide is multiply, so we're going to multiply both sides by 11 to cancel the divide by 11, the denominator of 11 if you like. So x is going to equal 77. And again, you can check it. 77 divided by 11 minus 3. 77 divided by 11 would equal 7. Take away 3. Yes, it does equal 4. We know we are correct. So there's 3 examples. Now we're going to move to the next page, where we have an extension question, and this is going to be a question that involves rearranging an equation to make x the subject. And what it means by x, making x the subject, is to have x equals. Now at the moment we've got ax plus g divided by p equals m. So we've got to use our algebraic skills here to make x the subject. So we've got to do the opposite of everything that's happening to the x. So we look at it and we think, right, okay, the whole thing is being divided by p. If it was divided by 2, we would times both sides by 2. Okay, it's not, it's a letter, but we can still times both sides by that letter. Times both sides by p to cancel the divide by p. M times p is quite simply written as mp, so we've now got ax plus g equals mp. So we've multiplied both sides by p and kept the equation balanced. Now, if we had plus 3, we would take away 3 from both sides. The same thing happens if we have plus g, because what we can do here is we can just subtract g from both sides. So we do that to both sides, and we can rewrite the equation now as ax equals mp minus g. And finally, if we had 3x, we would divide both sides by 3. We have ax, so we can divide both sides by a. This is going to be our final step, and our x is now on its own. We've made x the subject. We've written it as mp minus g. We've used the fraction line, and mp minus g divided by a would be our answer. So that's how we would make x the subject of an equation. So, I hope this tutorial was useful. Please hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Hasta la pizza, arrivederci. So long, goodbye. Have a great weekend, or have a great week, depending where you are in the week. Ciao for now.